Hey guys, this is EA Sports from Plamo Build Report, and welcome to my old room. I'm currently in South Korea for winter break to meet my parents, and I'm currently in the room that I used to be in. For those of you who don't know, I used to live in Korea. As I started this YouTube channel, I've never had a chance to explore my old Gundam models, and since it's Christmas and it's kind of more like a Christmas special, so ever since I started the YouTube channel, I've been doing unboxing, building, and reviews of kits. But while I'm here, why not I review my older kits that I used to do. Now keep in mind, all the models that you're going to see here today I've built during my middle school and my high school year, which I really got into Gundam models. Precisely, I've been doing plastic models since I was about 6 or 7 years old, but those are like really little ones, and I got really into the hobby during my middle school and high school year. So they're not going to be as good that you guys will hope. It's not like pro build model that you see in some other Instagrammers out there, but I figure it deserves its own review. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, the first model that I have here is a HGUC Goof. Now this, I believe I made it back in when I was in middle school. This is like when I was starting getting to the hobby, and then I was starting to get into painting stuff. However, back then, I didn't get a hold of all the Gundam markers that you could get easily nowadays. Actually, Gundam markers nowadays are pretty hard to come by. So, how I did this? Well, basically, I use a very green permanent marker just to color it in. And as you can see, because of age, the inside has already been broken. As you can see from right there. As you can see right here, the peg has been cut off. Usually there's another long peg that kind of goes through here. That's how HGUC Goof was, and unfortunately the only thing I could really do is tuck the finger Vulcan within the knee, just so it can make this cool effect. So I really like how this came out because of the whole overall military camouflage look that I did. And the blue and the green really doesn't mix too well, but yeah, I tried my best just to make this as green as possible. As you can see, I kind of really like the texture of this. It looks like it's a little weathered, more like a marble painting technique. But yeah, overall, this is how it came out, and I can't believe back then when I was in middle school, I have made this type of color. This one itself, again, I think this was one of the only Gundam marker that I have had, which is like a very sparkly metallic green. That I just use that shield as point. My middle school me, I think you did a very good job putting this together. Overall, my middle school self did a very good job in this kit. Using a Sharpie to have that distinctive coloring scheme, I think it's a very good job. It looks a little bit weathered, / it has that marble texture that I'm pretty impressed that I did this back when I was in middle school. So yeah, good job. So next I want to showcase the one that I've made during high school. Now this is an HG Strike kit, the first ever Gundam Seed model that came out. Back then, Gundam Seed was on TV, and also Gunpla was promoting himself a lot on how to make your Gunpla better by putting panel lines and painting and do custom work. I basically painted Strike all green, and this, I believe it's using the same Gundam marker, the metallic green that I've used on my Goof as well. One thing that I'm pretty impressed about this kit is Sword Calamity part onto this Strike Gundam. Basically this is an AL Strike with the L pack. So I think what I've done is I've took out the boosters from the AL pack, and then I forcefully mounted the Sword Calamity hinges. So as you can see right here, it's really not a good idea to do this, but I just like shoved it in. You can see basically the inside of the joints has been utterly destroyed, and now it's warped. But for some reason, it still holds up pretty well. Back then, I did not know how to airbrush nor spray can, so this is the best that I can do at this point. My middle school self also did is, so there's like a orange plastic part that is the beam effect, and basically I cut that out and I have painted it green. I am very impressed that I did that back then. So all I gotta do is just put this in, and yeah, you could use it as an effects part. So wow, I'm pretty impressed with this. Here's another one that I made during high school. This one's the HGUC Gundam. This one as well, I've used the metallic green, more of a lighter metallic green Gundam marker, and the red color scheme. You know, it's kind of appropriate because it's Christmas, or it was Christmas, and I'm showing you green, red coloring. So I guess this count as a Christmas special. Some of the parts I use, basically most of them just came from the original HGUC Gundam. The shield is still intact. The only thing that's missing is the V-fin antenna, and I believe I broke this one back when I was coloring everything. So yeah, it's a Gundam without the V-fin. Way to go. The biggest feature that you can see right here are going to be these two big space boosters from the G Savior. Anyways, this was the booster unit that was in the side skirt, and I thought it would be pretty cool to just put this in the arm, kind of using as like a big booster or like a very big beam saber that comes out. I don't know. I was in high school. I didn't know what I was doing. And just an overkill as well, I have put two weapons in one, so I guess this is what we call a double barrel gun if I just name it myself right now. But as you can see here, you can see one of them is a Zaku machine gun, the other one is the original Gundam beam rifle. The sensor, I painted it red, and again it's attached to the space booster, and I really don't know how I thought this was a good idea, because this doesn't really support it that well. But I guess one cool thing that I thought that it was good is gonna be like, I think it was like a big booster at the back. So yeah, so I guess it worked out like this. No, it will work out like this. So I guess the Gundam can fly this way, like just like that. I don't know, high school me. You tell me what was on your mind before, but overall, I think this was a very cool thing I did. Overall, I love the color scheme. Again, Christmas colory, and it looks good. It's very unique. The next three are some of the weathering that I have done back in the day. Now, again, this is back in high school. I did not know any of the weathering techniques, so the only weathering technique that I learned at the time was to actually use an actual lighter and also melt them. The very first sacrifice was the MG. What was this? MG, I believe this was 1.5. Look at this. I completely destroyed my first ever MG kit. This was my first ever MG, and look what happened to it. Looks pretty sick. The shield itself suffered the same way, and this one, I don't, as you can see, I didn't do anything at the back, but up in front, I think the only thing I've done is just use a lighter, and I just burned everything. And pretty realistic. I even punched a hole using, I think, probably like a pen or a toothpick just to make that hole like a bullet hole. For the time, I thought it was pretty cool, and yeah, pretty good effort. The other thing that I really destroyed is one of the SD RX-78 Gundam. Now, I don't know what happened to the face, but that one red eye over there, it's creepy and it looks pretty cool. But same technique I have done. I think the first time I painted everything using the Gundam marker the same way I did with the HG kit that I just showed you earlier. But on top of that, I think I just used a lighter and just melted everything. This is really well done. I mean, back then I'm just using a lighter and then just punching holes and stuff like that. I think it's pretty well done. Now, compared to the MG shield that I put there, this one has a lot more detail in it. Like, I think I punched more holes, and I even use a razor blade to make those scratch marks. And yeah, again, nothing at the back, but just overall, it looks pretty sick. Well done, well done. I'm pretty impressed so far. My high school self was more creative than I am right now. This one is not a damage kit, but as you can see here, again, same with the Strike, I just had to color it green. But if you look closely, I think the one thing I was trying to do is trying to make like a shade. Like, so on the right side, it's more on the darker shade, and the left side is more on the lighter shade. And I want to give props because the coloring is well done. Despite that, the only thing I've done is use a Gundam marker and just like scribble it and such. But yeah, I could see the half and half here. Overall, the coloring looks good. Man, I was so into green, wasn't I? And last but not least, oh boy, what the hell is this? So I think my high school stuff got a little out of hand on just customization, and I have made something that I don't even know what the hell this is. This is actually an HG100 Death Scythe. This one also is 1/100 scale HG Wing Gundam. Over in this whole big cloak, this is also the HG100 Death Scythe Hell Custom. And also what's supporting is the arm of HG100 Nataku. I don't know how to explain this at all. The biggest feature that my high school self did is the face. Now this, I think we took the face silhouette of the faceplate of Death Scythes and just replace it with some sort of a crystal. I don't know what this crystal is for, but I guess at the time it looked pretty cool. What I'm really impressed about is the weapon. So with the arm being cut off, I think the whole big booster effect here has been used as like a beam scythe. Main point is this guy just go forward and starts chopping the enemy. I think that's a pretty. It kind of look like an hawk or an eagle instead of like a big back. But look at this. This is pretty awesome. I could make something like this. This is pretty cool. I wonder if I could try to get this idea and make the kit batch better. This will be a very good idea sketch for like a very weird custom build. Also, not to mention that these kits here are naturally weathered. They're filled with dust, which I guess gives it a very good antique look. Pretty cool. You weird, high school. You weird. And that was it. Those were the models that I had made during my childhood, and I still look up to it these days as like my own way of starting this hobby. As some of you guys know, this hobby just kind of grew in popularity ever since last Anime NYC. I was also there. I also had put my sixth form Barbatos over there. I had a lot of good time, and I'm just happy that Gunpla, or classic model itself, it's growing. Everybody's knowing and such. Looking back at all the models that I just reviewed just now, I am very intrigued of my middle school and high school self. I mean, the creativity was there, obviously, but it's just a matter of the painting and all the extra skills that I didn't have back then. But looking back, I feel little inspired of my own work. I don't know if that's really something that I should say, because I'm pretty sure there are other good builders out there that I could name a few. I think it's very important to kind of look back to your old work and find your passion again if you lose any motivations along the way. With that being said, this has been EA Spuds from Plamo Build Report, and I hope you guys have a very happy holiday and a happy new year. Thanks for watching. See you next year. Bye bye.